Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Review of Religion's special coverage of Jalsa Salana UK 2021, an event which is hugely anticipated by members of the community from all around the world. The Review of Religions will be bringing you exclusive content from the build-up of the Jalsa to behind-the-scenes footage and extremely faith-inspiring interviews and accounts. We're here in Hadikatul Mahdi, which is the site of the Jalsa Salana. And as you can see, in just a matter of days, this entire site will be transformed into a fully operational Jalsa. We're going to be interviewing some of the key members of the organising committee and inshallah help answer your questions about the Jalsa Salana UK 2021.
First and foremost, as you know, by the grace of Allah, this year is a special Jalsa for us. Because of last year's pandemic, the Jalsa was effectively called off. We didn't have a Hadikatul Mahdi Jalsa at all. And Huzur very kindly addressed the world from Islamabad on the last day of the normal Jalsa, would have been in 2020. So we were very blessed that we had that togetherness for the one day that took place from Islamabad, and we were able to hear Huzur Anwar's address to the world.
The whole planning has been done with full direction from Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen Ayyadullah bin Aziz, and he has supervised every aspect of it, and even to the fact that we have done random selection of the individuals, and Huzur's instruction was that we should ensure that the whole of the country is represented at this event.
Actually, it is not for the first time that Huzur is guiding us on each and every step, but looking for the past 30 years or so, I can say with full confidence that on the occasion of each and every Jalsa, Huzur Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Aziz has always been guiding all the workers, particularly the officer Jalsa Salana, Jalsa Gah, Khidmat Khalq and Lajna.
I think one defining fact, I think it's already been recorded in Al-Hakam in one of the articles, was that some members of the management committee thought, okay, maybe due to the pandemic, there might not be a Jalsa. And they may have some sort of negative thoughts about whether we should be planning or not. And this was picked up by Huzur, and immediately Huzur sent a message saying that inshallah Jalsa will happen. Anyone who has a negative thought process with regards to this, tell them that we don't need you. And of course, this certainty, this level of commitment by Huzur himself, immediately for all of us, gave us even more strength and courage to, yes, that there will be a Jalsa this year, whatever the shape and form may be. But of course, if Huzur is so certain and so emphatically telling us that prepare yourself, then of course there will definitely be a Jalsa. And we vowed to Huzur that we will try our utmost to ensure the best that we can do in planning terms.
Although it is Jalsa Salana UK, but it is an international Jalsa and it is Huzur's Jalsa. And although this particular Jalsa this year is not an international Jalsa, but every step of the way we received blessed guidance from Huzur Anwar Ayyadullah Ta'ala bin Aziz, like we do every year. We knew that we had to put certain safety measures in place, and under Huzur's guidance that we received every step of the way, a COVID pandemic committee was made. And that committee gave its recommendations, which were presented to Huzur Anwar for further guidance and approval. And this committee met several times. They consulted NHS, they consulted other healthcare professionals, and the Muslim Medical Association was consulted. And I was also part of that committee, and as a GP as well, I was consulted several times about various measures that we could put into place to make it a safe Jalsa for attendees. Keeping those recommendations in mind, it is decided that only those people who have received double vaccination can attend.
And Huzur Sahib, throughout the few months since we've started planning, his main focus in ensuring the safety and well-being of Ahmadi members who are going to be coming to Jalsa Salana. And the second element was how to make everyone involved in this Jalsa Salana, whether it's virtually or through any other means possible. And these two things were very much, went hand in hand with the guidance that we received. So even the size of the marquee, the distances that we'd be sitting apart from each other, how we're going to be going into the dining marquee, how we're going to be exiting, whether there's going to be a bazaar this year or not, whether there's going to be tracking or not. Every single element was dictated by Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen ayyadahu ta'ala bin Aziz.
Our first Jalsa Salana after the arrival of Hazrat Masih Rabi Rahimullah actually took place in Mahmood Hall across the road. And we, as you can imagine, that we only had 400 people who attended this, the first 2 days here. Then the final day session was held in Surbiton in a recreational centre there, and 1,500 men and 1,500 women took place, attended. And therefore 3,000 people attended the first Jalsa Salana. And over the years now you've seen the thing grow from that very small Jalsa that took place here in 1984 to now we are working on a 210-acre site. And by the grace of Allah, now from where we only had a handful of people, now normally Jalsa is organized by over 5,000 volunteers, and a huge operation where we have 40,000 people from over 100 countries. This year is a bit more of a challenge because this year we're not inviting people from outside, but some of the challenges have increased in some cases because of the COVID restrictions.
There is at least one very important thing, you can say it as a change in the program or a new thing that is being introduced, that is regarding the international bath ceremony. Every year, everyone knows that this occasion when international bath takes place, that is definitely the highlight of the Jalsa. But this year, because of the circumstances of keeping the distance and segregation and all that, this will not be going to happen. So instead, what Huzur has approved, that this year a very comprehensive documentary regarding the inspiring glimpses of the international bath ceremonies in the past, that is going to make a documentary, and that documentary will be shown on the big screen to all the viewers, and all the viewers all over the world will be able to go through the history.
This year, inshallah, Jalsa Salana UK, we are expecting 1,500 women to attend Jalsa. Children are not allowed to attend because in this country they haven't received 2 doses of the vaccine yet, and only those people who have been double vaccinated can attend the Jalsa.
There is a committee, program committee, that meets and they work out a long list of the captions. They are divided in 7 categories. 7 topics are covered every year. On those 7 categories, the committee comes out with 5-6 possible titles of the speeches, and that long list is then submitted to Huzur. Along with that, a long list of possible speakers who are competent. Previously we used to invite speakers from other countries, but this year all the speakers are going to be from UK. So we present a list of the speakers so that Huzur may choose 3 or 4 speeches in Urdu or English, as the case may be. So all these things are submitted to Huzur, and then Huzur himself chooses the speaker and the topic. And this is something which is perhaps generally not known to the people, that how this speakers list is finalized, how the topics are chosen. We submit our ideas, but Huzur makes the selection, and many a time Huzur modifies the title or adds something to that, or sometimes he himself gives a new topic.
See, this year, because of the restrictions under directive from Huzur Aqdas, we are not inviting any external guests, because we have to make sure that we very strictly observe the SOPs, and in order to do that we will have to exercise a lot of due diligence and control. Therefore, in order to have representation from them, we have reached out to the various dignitaries who normally come to our Jalsa Salana, and inshallah, as you know, that we have that special session on Saturday and Sunday where we have our special guests come and say a few words. We will this time record them, and they'll be pre-recorded, and inshallah we will play them in the same session as we normally do on those 2 days, inshallah.
This year, for the first time, they will be having a chair to sit on, definitely feeling that it's a big difference between any Jalsa in the past, where they always have to sit on the floor. That is actually the oldest tradition of the Jalsa since the time of the promised Messiah ﷺ. So that has been continuing. I think on the subject of the stage design, the background design, I would like to say that this year all the viewers all over the world, they are going to enjoy a new experience, because it will be a sort of wall and you will see certain pictures and certain writings there which will be subject to change. We will be able to add new things, and even the colors will change from time to time. So this is going to be our first experience, but I hope this will be something very enjoyable and informative for everybody.
It's so much of an inclusive Jalsa with almost every country in the world now taking part in its own way. Huzur instructed that even within the UK, each mosque should open up its doors and hold a gathering of Jalsa with social distancing in mind, exactly the way we're operating in Jalsa Gah. So around the country, we've opened up the mosques, we've arranged food for all the participants that will turn up to those mosques, and again, takeaway for the evening meals. So that, in a way, we're all together celebrating Jalsa around the UK and around the world. And I'm getting messages now from various other countries that they are setting up their Jalsa Gahs in their mosques exactly the same way that we're holding it here. So we're all together, and it's almost as if we're having an international Jalsa from Huzur's addresses to us over the 3 days. Inshallah ta'ala, that will give us all the inspiration that we're waiting for, and this pandemic will end in a very positive note for all the Ahmadis around the world. Also, I think those that are able to attend, they're very blessed that their name was selected from a random computerized system. So they should remember that they're very blessed that they were selected, and those that their names didn't come up, just don't feel bad about it. This is Allah's will. It was just selected randomly, and therefore no one can complain. But the important thing is that all the mosques around the country are going to be opened for their local events, and more than that, Huzur's address will be heard around the world in every home through MTA. So everyone can take full benefit of this Jalsa, inshallah ta'ala.
Make sure to like, comment below and subscribe to our YouTube channel and other channels for the latest content.